You weren't being kind. You were begging to be needed. From the outside, you look like the hero. You're the one people call when their world is on fire, the friend who listens at 3 a.m., the partner who carries the weight of 2 souls. Everyone says you have a big heart. But deep down, a small voice wonders why you're so terrified of letting people handle their own mess. Where does this relentless urge to save others really come from? Carl Jung, the master of the human shadow, would say it isn't compassion at all. It's a symptom. You are not just trying to help, you're playing out old wounds. Let's look closer at the roots of the savior complex. Many people who feel compelled to fix, rescue, or be there for everyone grew up in chaos or neglect. Maybe your earliest memories are of being the peacemaker between fighting parents, or calming a caregiver who could never quite cope with their own life. You learned early that your role wasn't to be loved for who you are, but for what you could solve. Jung believed these childhood patterns do not disappear. They go underground. They become the inner child, a set of beliefs, fears, and desperate hopes that run the show from behind the curtain. Your need to fix isn't about other people at all. It's a secret deal with your own wounded self. If I can heal them, maybe someone will finally heal me. Psychologists call this codependency. It isn't just a buzzword. It's a pattern where your sense of self-worth depends on being needed, wanted, or indispensable. You cannot rest if someone else is struggling. Their pain is your mission. The fawn response is a piece of dark psychology that fits here perfectly. Instead of fighting or fleeing when you sense conflict, you overgive, overhelp, and self-abandon in the hope that your sacrifices will earn you love, or at least prevent abandonment. But here's the bitter punchline. People don't love you for saving them. They grow to expect it, and often resent you when you finally run out of energy. Jung once wrote, "The most terrifying thing is to accept oneself completely." That is why many fixers avoid their own shadows by diving into everyone else's. It is easier to treat someone else's wounds than to look at your own. So you fill your time, your mind, and your identity with the chaos and need of others, secretly hoping that if you are helpful enough, you'll finally be safe, chosen, or worthy. Imagine a friend named Sarah. Sarah grew up in a home where her mother was always falling apart. At 7 years old, Sarah learned how to make tea, clean up messes, and say just the right thing to soothe her mum's panic. She grew up fast, becoming a little adult before she was ready. As an adult, Sarah's phone never stops buzzing. She is the fixer for her friends, the therapist in her romantic relationships, and the last one to ask for help herself. On the rare days she is alone, she feels an empty ache, like she doesn't exist unless someone needs her. Sarah is not alone. This is the shadow of the helper, the martyr, the saint. The culture applauds you for it, but your soul knows the cost. The constant anxiety, the exhaustion, the quiet resentment building up inside. Jung's genius was to see that this cycle only ends when you turn the lens inward. Healing isn't about becoming better at rescuing. It's about letting go of the role completely. Who are you when you're not needed? What happens if you let someone else fall and trust they will stand again without your hand? Real growth starts when you recognize that your compulsive kindness is really a plea for security. You aren't helping them. You're trying to save yourself from the terror of being unneeded, unchosen or alone. The path to freedom is brutal and beautiful. It means setting boundaries, even when your heart is pounding with guilt. It means allowing people to face their own consequences, to stumble and struggle, and maybe even to resent you for not rushing in. It means sitting with the discomfort of your own helplessness and discovering that you can survive it. Jung believed that wholeness comes not from being perfect, but from integrating the parts of us we try to avoid. The needy child, the scared adult, the angry shadow. All of these must be faced and befriended. Only then can you show up in relationships as a whole person, not a perpetual rescuer. Ask yourself, who would I be if I stopped trying to fix everyone? What if my worth had nothing to do with how much I can sacrifice? What if I could be loved for simply being, not doing? Most people never answer these questions. They stay trapped in the exhausting loop of codependency, never daring to let go of the role that kept them safe as children. But for those who do the hard work, a strange new freedom emerges. You begin to see that your energy is not infinite and that your peace is just as sacred as anyone else's. You learn to say no, to rest, to receive. You learn to watch someone else's struggle without making it your responsibility. Eventually, the world changes too. People may pull away, disappointed that you are no longer their personal savior. Others will be drawn to your newfound wholeness, meeting you as equals rather than dependents. Jung's vision was not to shame the fixer, but to awaken them, to show that beneath the urge to heal others lies the deeper need to heal yourself. He said, "Your visions will become clear only when you can look into your own heart." It is a terrifying thing to step out of your old identity and meet yourself, shadow and all, but it is the only way to know peace. So the next time you feel the urge to save, pause. Ask if you're really helping, or if you're trying to fill an old emptiness. Trust that letting go of the role is not abandonment, but the beginning of true relationship with others and with yourself. If you're ready to stop living in the shadow of the Savior and start living in the light of your own soul, subscribe for more on Jung, dark psychology, and the art of authentic healing. Share your experience in the comments. When did you finally let go of saving others? Let's walk this new path together.